One call changed everything. Hello, my miracles, and welcome to another Coffee and Crime, episode 56, Meet Me at the Belvedere. So grab your coffee and let's talk some crime. Ray Rivera and his wife Allison had relocated to Baltimore from California to work for his longtime friend and publisher, Porter Stansberry. Ray worked as a writer and videographer for Porter's investment company, Stansberry and Associates Investment Research, a subsidiary of Agora Publishing. Ray and Allison had made a pact. They would stay in Baltimore for 24 months. They found a beautiful home and moved in December 2004. On May 16, 2006, Allison was preparing to leave for a business trip. As Ray and Allison were saying their goodbyes, Allison said, "I love you so much." And Ray replied, "Thank you for loving me." Allison worked that day, then returned to her hotel room to call Ray. When she called him, it went straight to voicemail. Later that night, she called Claudia, a house guest at their house, and asked if she had seen Ray. Claudia said that Ray had received a phone call at 6:30 p.m. and ran out the door in a hurry. The next morning at 5:30, Claudia called Allison and said Ray still was not home. Allison packed her bags and began the drive home, calling everyone that she knew, family and friends. No one had seen or heard from Ray. The family and friends then gathered at Allison and Ray's house to begin the search. Ray's friend and employer, Porter, put up a $1,000 reward and contacted the media for help. Everyone combed the streets, putting up flyers and asking around if they had seen Ray. Ray's credit cards were never used, and his cell phone was dead. On May 22nd, Ray's car was located by his in-laws in a parking lot off of St. Paul Street in Baltimore's Mount Vernon neighborhood, near his workplace. It had been parked there since the night of May 16th. Then on May 24th, 3 of Ray's coworkers decided to go on top of the parking garage next to the historic Belvedere Hotel, located at 1 East Chase Street in Baltimore. They spotted a pair of flip-flops near a hole in the roof, which was part of the hotel. Police were called to the Belvedere Hotel. In a section of the hotel called the Racquetball Club, Ray's body was discovered lying underneath the hole in the roof. It had been 8 days. Ray was 32 years old. So what really did happen? Why would Ray, being afraid of heights, be on top of the roof of the Belvedere Hotel? The location of the hole in the roof is very important. The Belvedere Hotel roof is 13 stories up. The rooftop is about 40 feet in width. The distance from the rooftop to the hole in the lower roof of the hotel is 45 feet. Ray would have had to do a running jump in flip-flops. Another thought was Ray could have jumped from the parking garage. That theory was quickly thrown out due to the fact that the distance from the hole to the top of the parking garage was only 20 feet. And with the extent of his injuries, it was impossible. Ray's injuries included multiple fractured ribs, a punctured lung, contusion of the chest, abrasions of the torso, 2 breaks in his right leg, and damage to his skull. Ray's eyeglasses, flip-flops, and cell phone were found intact near the hole. The Belvedere Hotel was thoroughly checked. No one had seen or heard a thing. The cameras were checked, and Ray was not seen at all. Allison had met with the medical examiner, and she had stated she did not believe it was a suicide due to the way that his shins had been broken. The company Ray worked for, Stansberry and Associates, within hours after Ray's body was found, placed everyone who worked there on a gag order, so the investigators could question no one. Porter Stansberry, Ray's best friend, lawyered up. What does he have to hide? A few weeks before Ray's death, he was working on something that had him very worried. Ray's wife, Allison, believes that this has something to do with Ray's death. She believes Ray uncovered something he shouldn't have, and she believes Ray was murdered. A cryptic and confusing note was found taped to Ray's computer at his home, which some believed could be related to his death. The note included names of prominent figures in Hollywood, movie titles, quotations, and ramblings. Here are some excerpts. Brothers and sisters, right now, volcanoes around the world are erupting. What an awesome sight. I stand before you as a man who understands the purpose and the value of our secrets. That's why I cherish them as secrets. That was a well-played game. Congratulations to all who participated. Life is a test to see if you can control your spirit. Take care and enjoy the festivities. If you have any information on Ray Rivera's death, please contact unsolved.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Crime. If you did, click that like button. And if you're not a miracle and want to be, click that subscribe button and watch a miracle happen. I'm Miracle Girl for Coffee and Crime. I'll see you next time.